Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So we have looked into the GRI, the Global Reporting Initiative, and this one is the international guideline, okay, on how to report on your CSR activities or your sustainability activities. Okay, we have looked into the guidelines. Currently, they are using the GRI standard. Okay, previously companies used the GRI G4. Okay, GRI G4. This one is for report issued after the 31st December 2015. They follow the G4, and then currently they are using. Prior to that, they have the G3. Now they have the GRI standard. That is the guideline to guide the companies to report on their CSR activities. So what is basically the GRI standard? Let's look, for example, the first one. For the GRI standards, you have the GRI 101, that is the foundation. So what do you have there? You have the introduction, background on sustainability reporting, overview of the GRI sustainability reporting standards and how to use the standards. And then you have the GRI 101, that is the foundation. Okay, and then the this one you have when companies need to report on their on their CSR activities, you have this as the guideline, that is the GRI standards. You have this one, universal standards. You have the GRI 101, that is the starting point for using the GRI standards. And then you have the general disclosures, that is the GRI 102, that is to report contextual information about an organization. And you have the GRI 103, that is the management approach, to report the management approach for each of the material topic. And then that specific standards for the GRI, you have the GRI 200 series, you have the GRI 300 series, and the GRI 400 series. So for the GRI 200 series, you have that one is for the economic. You remember we mentioned just now the 3 P's, okay? That is the profit, the economic, and the people, that is the social, and the planet, that is the environment. So you have the GRI 200 series that focuses on the economic elements, or the economic section of your CSR disclosure. And then you have the GRI 300 series that guide you on how to prepare on your environment. And also you have the GRI 400 series that will guide companies to report on their social disclosure. Okay. Okay, if you see here, the GRI Sustainability Reporting Standards, or the GRI standards, are designed to be used by organizations to report about their impacts on the economy, environment, and or the society. Okay, the GRI standards are structured as a set of interrelated standards developed primarily to be used together to help an organization prepare their sustainability report. Okay, so and report on their material. Material means the important topics that they need to report with. So this is the guideline. Okay, take for example, okay, the 300 series about the environment. So you have the GRI 306, that is on waste, for example. So this is the GRI standard. GRI 306 is about the waste. Okay, what is it about the waste? So it's all about the management approach disclosures. If disclosure 306-1 is about the waste generation and significant waste related impact. So if companies need to report on their waste, and a 306-1 explains on what are the things that company need to report with regard to the waste generation and the significant waste related impact. And then the 306-2 is about the management of significant waste related impacts. And then you have the topic specific disclosure. 306-3 is about waste generated. 306-4 is about waste diverted from disposal. 306-5 is about waste directed to disposal. So companies, they are being can use this guideline on what are the things that they need to report, for example, with regard to waste. Okay, they are being guided by the GRI 306 to report on waste. So specifically, the guideline provide the that means guide the companies if, let's say, they want to report what are the reporting requirements under 306-1, that is the waste generation and significant waste related impact. So the reporting organization shall report to the shall report the following information. So that means they report on the for the organization significant actual and potential waste related impacts, a description. Okay, they need to provide description of the inputs, the activities, outputs that lead or could lead to these impacts. And then secondly, whether these impacts relate to waste generated in the organization's own activities or to waste generated upstream or downstream in its value chain. So this guideline provide in detail what are the things that the company need to report if they want to report with regard to, for example, here is the waste. Okay. Now let's look at, if let's say the 400 series, the 400 series is about the disclosure on social activities. So this one, based on the GRI standard, you have the GRI, I'm just take for example 408, that is about the child labor. So what about the child labor? So with regard to child labor, you have the disclosure 408-1, that is the operations and suppliers at significant risk for incidents of child labor. So what are the things that companies need to report with regard? So the guideline provide that the reporting organization shall report the following information. So operations and suppliers considered to have significant risk for incidents of child labor, young workers exposed to hazardous work, and the operations and supply considered to have significant risk for incidents of child labor, either in terms of type of operation, countries or geographic area, and measures taken, and so on. So this GRI standards provide a guideline, a detailed guideline on how companies should report on their CSR activities. Okay, hopefully you can understand that. So if you want to know more, then you can download the GRI standards, look into the detail of what other things that are being mentioned by these guidelines on how to report on the CSR activities. Okay, thank you.